So welcome everyone to our beautiful live training today, which is how to learn to facilitate cacao circles, ceremonies, circles in general, and how to transform your passion for cacao into a profitable, impactful business. And I love this next line, which is even if you're not new to cacao ceremonies, or even if you're new to cacao ceremonies, you have no idea where to start, or you feel overwhelmed by the marketing. That was me a few years ago, and I'm excited to share with you so much goodness today. So the agenda is going to be a few things. First, we're going to talk about why is now the time to step into your role as a ceremonialist. We're going to talk about why include cacao, which is a master plant medicine, how you can be in co-facilitation with this incredible spirit to support you through your circles. We're going to talk about how to build confidence and embodiment in facilitation. So confidence, so many times we feel, who am I to step up and hold space for others? So helping to awaken within us the medicine man, the medicine woman, the healer within us, and embodiment, which really means how do we ensure that we are in honoring the sacred lineage of this sacred master plant medicine, the embodiment, being one with the spirit, being in deep relationship with the spirit. Then we're going to talk about the framework for growing a successful cacao business. This is very exciting because this is a framework I created. I've been beautiful, great honor and privilege of sharing this medicine with others for almost 5 years now. I've been working with this medicine for over 5 years, but sharing for almost 5 years. And I'm excited to share that with you, this beautiful framework. We're going to take a few minutes and actually do a training when we get there. And then, if it's okay with everyone, I just would love to share my Goddess Temple Cacao embodied facilitator training, because there will be some of you who would prefer a more structured process to be supported throughout this journey. And so, let's talk now about why is now the perfect time to start hosting circles and ceremonies. There are so many beautiful reasons why. The first one is because there's a growing collective need for healing, right? It is so obvious. Think about yourself as well. We are a reflection of what's happening in the collective. And so your own noticing what's coming up to the surface for you to be seen, coming out of the darkness, to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be loved. There's a rise of sacred community spaces, right? Really beautiful spaces, spaces that are authentic, where you can have a real authentic connection, really truly be seen, especially in this digital world where everything seems to be online. There's an expansion of consciousness and spiritual growth. You cannot deny this. Think about your own journey. You're probably a completely different person in the last, right now, than you were 2 years ago. Unrecognizable, isn't that right? So, can you imagine what 2 years from now is like? And can you imagine what the world is turning into as so many people start to awaken into this? People are awakening and hungry for more soul food. And this is soul food. The opportunity to create sacred, profitable business, a beautiful, sovereign business that is there for the greater good of all. Leadership and collaboration is the new paradigm. This is a big part of my passion in supporting others, is understanding that we are no longer in this world of needing to do things on our own. We are so much stronger when we come together, even when we are hosting these beautiful circles or ceremonies, coming together, whether that's with other cacao ceremonialists or facilitators or people in other fields or modalities. And then the healing power of community is stronger than ever, isn't it? It's so much stronger, this beautiful community. And if you're here, it's probably because you've been to other ceremonies or circles where you've come in and the energy is just palpable. I mean, you don't even know these people and you feel like they're family and they're holding space for you. This is what's possible for you to also create for others. Let's go to the next slide. Whoops, here we go. And then finally, I want to talk about why is now the perfect time to start hosting circles and ceremonies? Because of what's happening in the plant medicine world. There is increased interest in plant medicines and alternative healing growing so fast. People remembering that everything that we need is in nature, and that the plant medicine sector specifically is one of the fastest growing professional sectors in the world. And so when you think about that, the opportunity for highly skilled, what does that mean? Lots of practice, lineage honoring, experienced facilitators are endless. And we're going to focus on this lineage honoring because there's so many people. We get excited. We live in a world where we get excited. We go to a ceremony, we learn this thing, we want to right away start sharing it with others. And we are living in a time where we can deepen into authenticity and embodiment when we first are in relationship with that thing, where there is a transformation we've received ourselves. And with plant medicines, there's an actual benevolent spirit that we connect to. And so we're going to keep talking about that now. Okay, so I just want to share really quickly who I am. Some of you know me, some of you may not. I'm Judy. I'm the founder of Goddess Temple Cacao. I am a devoted ceremonialist and a loving advocate for the normalization of the cacao master plant medicine dieta. That may be something new to you. What is a dieta? What does this even mean? A dieta is a purification of your body, a connection, deep connection with this plant spirit, and an opening to receive spirit channeling, to receive guidance, and to grow a deep relationship with this medicine. And so this is important for many reasons. One, especially if you wish to facilitate this medicine for others, it is very important that we are in deep relationship with this medicine. And we do that through what's called the plant medicine dieta, the cacao dieta. We're going to talk a little bit about that, just a tiny bit. But I'm so committed to the normalization of the plant medicine, the cacao plant medicine dieta, for anyone who wishes to connect to their spirit guides, and more important, for those who wish to facilitate cacao. This is the ancient way that has been around forever with our shamans, our medicine people, to connect through this dieta, to go deeper, and yet it's been somehow almost forgotten. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit too today. My journey, by the way, is years ago, over 5 years ago, I was called by the spirit of cacao, just like you are, if you're here. Just what that means is, suddenly interested, what is this? Wanted to know more about it, want to go to a ceremony, just this real deepening desire to be more in the spirit of the medicine. And in that journey, a beautiful shaman literally fell into my lap. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. I started to work with this beloved woman who was 7 years trained in the jungles of Peru, Tarapoto, Peru, with the beloved Shipibo Canibo tribe, learning mostly to work with them and to support others and hold space through ayahuasca plant medicine, but also through cacao. She spent time also in Mexico. And so, beautiful journey. I was so honored and continue to be in relationship with this beautiful shaman. In the beginning, she's the one who guided me through this dieta journey. I experienced some dieta journeys with her and then started to journey on my own, many dieta journeys every single year, so I can be in true honoring, transformational experiences myself. And most importantly, so that I can be in her guidance, so that I'm not going around in these ceremonies and circles and saying things that are based on my projection, my traumas, my projection, limiting beliefs that I would be sharing. So it's very important that we are in relationship to this beautiful spirit, to ask for guidance, so that when we are in these circles and ceremonies, we are an open channel. We have literally removed ourselves and allowed for the spirit to come through us, to share and to hold space for others. That's what this is all about. Mm-hmm. So first, let's talk about, before we get into the training, what are master plant medicines, and how is cacao a master plant medicine? So all plants are either medicinal or teacher plants. So medicinal meaning, for example, chamomile. Think of chamomile as a beautiful plant. And when we take chamomile, when we ingest chamomile, it helps us to feel very calm. It's a beautiful, natural way to calm ourselves. So some plants are medicinal, others are teacher plants. They have a benevolent spirit. All plants have spirit. And some are teacher plants that when we connect deeply with them, they are in fact called master teacher plants, where they support us in expanding our consciousness, to teach us in an accelerated way, to transform and to teach us and to shift beliefs, concepts, paradigms, all of that stuff, so we can start to embody the medicine. This is a master plant medicine is an ageless journey revered by our indigenous cultures for thousands of years, even longer. Because as we're learning, there's so much that we're learning about our history. We've really only been told a little bit about our history. So much is being uncovered. There's in fact a new temple that they uncovered in Peru that's 3,000 years older than the Egyptian pyramids, older than Machu Picchu. And in those ceremonial pots, they have found traces of ceremonial cacao. Can you believe this? There's so much that we need to remember that is being uncovered, even within us, even in our consciousness. Our consciousness is now becoming ready to accept and remember more. Where do these master plant medicines come from? I'm going to specifically speak about cacao. Cacao is mostly out of South America, Mexico, Ecuador, Peru, some of these beautiful countries, which have been the early stewards of this medicine, of this drink, which is known for thousands of years by our beloved indigenous families who have known that there's a benevolent spirit. They've been connecting with this benevolent spirit for this long. So many beautiful ancestors supporting us too in this journey. There's profound healing and consciousness altering abilities with plant medicines. Some of them include ayahuasca, psilocybin, psilocybin mushrooms, cacao. Cacao is not a psychedelic. What I have found, having facilitated many, 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 many cacao ceremonies, is that many people are excited to come into cacao ceremony because they may know a little bit about master plant medicines, but they also may know that most of them are psychedelic. And they might think, oh, I'm a little nervous, maybe especially as a novice, I'm a little nervous to experience the psychedelic, but wow, cacao, main ingredient to make chocolate, yes, I'm open to experience this. And that's a beautiful way of being exposed to this whole shift in consciousness through master plant medicines. And I want to share here something really profound. It is my belief that if it was for our ancestors figuring out how to take these seeds, this cacao right here is the cacao pod, and inside the cacao pod are these little tiny seeds. If it was not for our ancestors figuring out how to take these little seeds and transform this into chocolate by adding other ingredients, processing and transforming to chocolate, which is the world's favorite food, it is my belief that cacao would also be illegal like many of the other master plant medicines. Why? Simply because it's a whole other story. Many of our master plant medicines have been misunderstood or dishonored. And there is now a rise in the consciousness, in the awakening of this. And many are shifting through that period of time where it was misunderstood. And it's coming into our awareness and consciousness. These medicines are calling to us to show us that how can anything natural be illegal? We have to question when things are illegal. And so this is beautiful that cacao is one of these very gentle yet profound master plant medicines that will help us to shift out of our stories, conditions, limiting beliefs in a beautiful, accelerated way when we come to her with honor and reverence, which is what we're going to talk about. Okay, so let's keep going here. Let's get into the training. How to transform your passion for cacao into a profitable, impactful business. We're going to talk about a framework today. Okay, so there are two pathways to the success, in my opinion, from my experience, having been in this beautiful space that I'm so honored and grateful to be here and now to share with you. Two pathways that I have found, that I have created, which I want to share with you. And I call them the Goddess Temple Cacao Circle and Ceremony Facilitation and Business Mastery, right? Because we understand money is also a frequency. Money is an energy. Money is a frequency of love. And all it wants to do is to support us, to take our intention and to amplify and support us in this world of duality, in this world where we are tethered to earth, where money is one of the ways in which we share value. So it's very important that we start to really understand that money is a frequency of love and to really let go of many of those conditions. And we talk a lot about that in the training as well, that I'm going to share afterwards as well. But here are the two pathways. The first one is what I call the embodied cacao facilitator method. And notice I call it embodied, not just cacao facilitator, but embodied, because we're going to talk about the dieta. The dieta is the essential first step before you share and serve this medicine to others in a devotional way, to really be in this journey, this dieta journey with the spirit. Second thing is called the Cacaopreneur Success Framework. I love this. It's a really cutesy way of really bringing in the business, the seriousness of it, the devotion, the sovereignty of receiving, giving and receiving. So the Cacaopreneur Success Framework. And we're going to start with that. So this is really exciting. I want to take a few minutes on this beautiful slide. So, the Goddess Temple Cacaopreneur Success Framework, I want to talk about what this is. If you're interested in sharing, in bringing people together and really in a devotional, honorary way, holding space for everyone, guiding them through maybe a meditation, supporting them through cacao, as beautiful thing about including cacao is that cacao is your co-creator. Cacao is supporting you in this beautiful ceremony and helping people to open their heart, to shift their beliefs as well. And so there's 3 steps to the Cacaopreneur Success Framework. First one is aligned offer creation. Second one is authentic marketing and community building. And the third one is scalable systems for sustainability. Now, you're probably looking at this and going, oh my God, what? This is all so much for me. It's almost overwhelming. I want you to know that this is why, in a minute, when I share, if you choose to join me in this beautiful 12-month journey where I mentor you, I have monthly office calls where I'm going to support you every month to go deeper into this so we can personalize this for you. But let's do a little training right now. Okay, so the first step is aligned offer creation. What does this mean? This means we first want to think about your why. Why do you wish to hold space for others in circles, in ceremonies? Why? Probably you've been to other circles and ceremonies and felt this deep connection, this beautiful reverence for the space that someone else created for you. And you know in your heart that not only are you capable of this, even though you might be a little bit scared, but you know in your heart this is calling to you to do as well. Maybe you have friends that you want to do this with at first. But the first part is really aligning with why, so that it's really truly not about our ego, but about why, the transformation we've received and how we wish to be of service for others. And then the story of cacao, how cacao came into your world. It's possible you're here in this training, mostly because you want to learn how to facilitate circles and ceremonies, and maybe not sure yet if you want to include plant medicine, or maybe you do. Doesn't matter. This training is for you either way. But I want to talk about designing aligned offers that meet different client needs. So I want you to think about what are the biggest needs right now that the collective, what are their biggest needs right now? Need for connection, need to support them to go into an inner journey. Many people don't even know how to do that. They're constantly listening to stuff all day long, radio, TV, whatever it is. They don't even have time to be silent. They don't know how to do that. How can you guide them into a deep journey within? So what else are the needs? There's a need for many people are feeling anxious, anxiety. The whole world looks like it's falling apart. This sort of uncertainty, anxiety around that, depression. These are all the world's sort of biggest concerns. If this is similar to some of the experiences you've gone through, then we want to create a little offering that's relatable to them, but also is part of your story and your journey. And we can walk you through that. But notice here, this one in red, personalize based on your transformations. This one, there's so many things within number 1, but I want to talk today about this, personalizing your offering based on your own transformation. So I want to ask you right now, what is a transformation in your life that has happened? What is it? Is it maybe a shift from a real depressed state to a state of overcoming this? Is that one of your transformations? One of my transformations has been this journey of infertility and going through this journey of getting pregnant and then having a miscarriage and then going through this very difficult journey for a few years of feeling so broken, so sad, and then overcoming this. And we can, that's for another conversation in terms of how that I was able to overcome that. And now sharing with others this beautiful, beautiful gift of asking different questions. For me, it was, instead of constantly saying, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why can't I have a baby? I started to ask, wow, who am I? How am I here to serve in all ways, whether it's with a baby or just in general? And everything started to shift for me. And so you see how that shift and transformation can be turned into a circle to bring people of that in that same space into a similar transformation. So it's very important that you think about what are one of your transformations? And one of the exercises we go through is writing down. Just write down what are all the things that you've been through. Your journey of spiritual growth. How did you even get to a place where you felt like you were really this sort of zombie in the Matrix to, oh my God, awakening into, oh my God, the purpose of why we are all here and this growth journey. Maybe that's one of your transformations and you wish to take people through that in a circle or ceremony. So the first step is, what are some of your transformations? And then we look at how can we create a circle, a ceremony, an offering that is really geared around this transformation. So you're calling in those who are experiencing something similar, who are going to absolutely relate to you. And so that's a beautiful way of starting, especially number one, the aligned offer creation. And so we're going to go to number two now, which is authentic marketing and community building. Oh, this is beautiful. And this is where sometimes people go, oh my God, I don't have Instagram. I don't have social media. I don't even know what an email community is. I don't have any of this. And that's okay because you don't need any of this. You just need to start with one way in which you feel the most aligned of sharing who you are, sharing your journey with Cacao, letting people know what this is. And it could be just through, a little email that you have with some friends. It could be through a WhatsApp group that you have. Part of this training that I offer, which I'll be talking about, is really guiding you through how to pick one of these platforms and really focusing regularly on content. And we have so many examples that we can share. So whether it's through storytelling, free offerings in the beginning, every single Monday, I was showing up on Instagram Live. I have my Tibetan bowl. I would play my Tibetan bowl. I would bring people into a really, really, really short, you know, into their body, into this beautiful journey within. And then I would have cacao and I would show up with my cacao and do a little cacao blessing. And that was it. It was about 5, 10 minutes. And people were starting to know, oh, this is happening every Monday morning. They'd want to join and they would start to be in that practice. So these free offerings are so beautiful. What is it for you that feels the most aligned? And how can you make it consistent? Because as we know, when we give first, so much more we receive. So we really talk about that for you. There's consistent platform content. We talked about that, picking one platform, being consistent. And we can guide you through that journey. Collaborations, notice this one's in red. I want to go a little deeper into this one today. Apprenticing. Part of what I teach is that when you wish to become, especially a plant medicine facilitator, a ceremonialist, like in this journey, you're looking at potentially being a cacao ceremonialist, that we are always apprentices. We are always learning. We are always open. And just like me, I continue to apprentice with this beloved shaman for, I think it was a year and a half, opening up her ceremonies, her shamanic cacao ceremonies with a storytelling. So we're going to talk about collaborations and apprenticing. And also we talked about email marketing a little bit because we do talk, I am a big, big, big fan of this beautiful gift of email. When people give their name and email to you, how can you give back so much value that they actually get excited to receive something from you? But let's talk today about collaborations right here, this one right here. I have experienced, and I believe it is part of this new world that we are creating. It is this journey of no longer needing to be the lone wolf. No longer, especially us women, sometimes we feel like everything we have to do on our own. Think about in the past, it used to take a village to bring up our children. Now, if you look at today's society, there's so many people just doing everything on their own. Everything, every step of their child is on their own. Whereas before, the community, the village would do this together. And we are now shifting back into this realization that when we collaborate, when we come together, we are so much stronger. We each have unique gifts and skills that when we come together, we can support each other, we can inspire each other, we can empower each other. And so the opportunity to collaborate when you are hosting circles and ceremonies, and I'm speaking specifically, mainly for when you're creating a business, this is so powerful to collaborate with others who maybe have other gifts. Maybe they offer breath work. Maybe they offer shamanic drumming, whatever it is that they offer. You come together and offer this beautiful journey together. And also, maybe they are cacao facilitators. Really getting into this mindset that there is no competition. When we come together, even if there are 2, 3 cacao facilitators coming together and hosting a cacao ceremony, we are so much stronger together. We will each be sharing in a different way. People will resonate with some of us more important than others based on the story we share, based on our energy. we are so much stronger together. So this is one of the ways to build this sovereign business that when we move to number three, provide scalable systems for sustainability. Okay, so this is where we really part number one I have here is the ceremony itself. You know, the way I teach, and I'm going to show you in a minute how to share a sacred devotional ceremony. I teach many of the ancient devotional rituals and practices where we are honoring all of the directions, the elements, Pachamama, all of the different elements that we bring into the ceremony, including some of the priestess work that we're going to talk about in a minute as well. So when you're in this understanding of, oh, okay, this is kind of how the overall ceremony works. You know, there's sort of this opening, and this is what we do in the opening. And then we kind of have this internal journey that we bring people into. What could that look like? What are all the possibilities? And then we serve, and then we serve the medicine, and we drink the cacao, and then we close. So just kind of knowing in your mind what are sort of the main steps of the ceremony, so that it's you become even more confident. You have an ability to practice that too, which again we talked about either through free, so doing something free offerings, or even in a community like this one, which I'm going to talk about, where we come together and we host online ceremonies together, all of the Cacao Facilitators, so we all have a chance to practice and learn from each other and be inspired by each other, and then go, oh my God, can I collaborate with you? I love what you do there. Let's do something on the side, whether it's online or in person. Offering regular ceremonies. This is beautiful. I personally offer a monthly full moon ceremony. Why? Because I am in relationship with the moon. I have been through these beautiful transformations where I understand the energy of the moon, the new moon, the full moon, and the other two layers and journeys in between. And once you're in relationship with some of these things, then you can too share that as part of your ceremony. So imagine just by offering a full moon ceremony, which includes cacao, meditation, whatever, all those other beautiful personalized transformations, people will want to come every month, perhaps ongoing, regularly, or just people who are thinking, oh, I can't make that month, but I want to come to the next month. So knowing this is how you can create something that's consistent. We talk about that, not just, full moon. There's so many examples of what you can do monthly or quarterly. You can also look at what's happening in the world, what's happening in this month, what's a big event that might be happening, International Women's Day. How can you look at, creating a beautiful circle ceremony around that to honor that, whether it's online or in person. I'm also a big, big, big fan. Over time, don't get overwhelmed and think you have to do this right away, but just understanding how to scale, how to create scalable systems, something that is actually very easy to do. It may seem overwhelming, but imagine if you have access once a month to come into a live training where you can ask any question about where you're at on this journey, but also there's some sort of a training on how to do this. This takes baby steps, but it will impact you in so many beautiful ways. There's these beautiful automations. Creating a marketing platform where you're collecting money. I've had people come in to the training who don't have any kind of experience. And when they want to host a ceremony, they share, online, or they share with their friends. And it's so beautiful. You can have a way where people can go and just pay, so they don't have to come back and forth. So it could be an Eventbrite, very simple journey, and offering that we create there. So it's simple things that we can create and share with you. An online series. I'm going to talk about that one in a minute. Passive income, creating digital offerings as you're growing and being stronger and more deeper relationship with the spirit. You can create some online offerings, a little online digital offering, a self-love and cacao daily journey for 20 days, 30 days, whatever it is. But these beautiful online digital offerings, which can be something that you charge as well, and something that you can offer an affiliate program with, where other people are referring to it and you provide part of the profits. This is one of the most beautiful ways to grow your business and to actually be an affiliate for somebody else. If you resonate with other people's offerings, why wouldn't you share that with the community? You would do that anyway, probably without receiving any money. And why not? This beautiful person who's having you as their affiliate is excited that you're bringing in a whole new audience. So of course they want to share profits. This, I believe, is the new world of economy. The new way of commerce is when we all share each other's offerings And there really is no need, very little need for advertising in the future when we're all doing this, right? Think about how beautiful that is. That's the movement I'm creating here. And then I want to talk about the online series, okay? Because yes, we're excited about hosting these beautiful ceremonies, cacao ceremonies in person. Those are phenomenal. So beautiful, the connection. And the online series is beautiful as well. You can really grow your reach internationally. And you can still, there are ways where you can make this journey, this ceremony, extremely interactive and impactful and transformational. Things like, again, only when you are in relationship with the flame and the candle would you bring that in and share with people to bring their candle to the online ceremony so you can help them to guide and light the candle. Same with the sage and the Palo Santo. Are you personally in relationship with those medicines? We talk about that through the training, just what does that even mean to be in relationship? Just to be in deep devotion, to connect with the spirits that are behind these things. And then you can include them in your ceremony. So beautiful. So the power of an online series, and again, collaborating with others through an online ceremony. This is another beautiful way of creating a scalable system for sustainability. So these steps, 1, 2, and 3, are all made possible through flow when we are receiving guidance from the spirit of the cacao. When we are in relationship with the spirit of cacao, that is again through this dieta journey. You start with the dieta journey, a very deep transformational journey. And then when you are literally initiated, you begin this beautiful spirit of opening up yourself to allow the spirit to come through you. When she starts to guide you, she will guide you in these steps. You don't have to sit there and go, oh, well, what should I do for this? What should I do for that? That is the old way of thinking. We are stepping into remembering who we are. We are the medicine. These medicines are here reminding us they have so much devotion and honor for us. Did you know that the cacao spirit, any plant medicine, our spirit guides have so much honor and devotion for us? They're looking at us with so much honor. Why? Because we're the ones that chose to forget who we are temporarily to come down here to experience this journey of remembering who we are here on earth as humans, to be this beautiful frequency and spirit reflection of God temporarily in this bodysuit. Of course, they have so much honor and reverence for us. When we truly understand that, then we understand that these spirits, ask and you shall receive. When we speak to them, they are ready to serve us. We have free will here. And when we ask is when they serve us and support us. And they have so much honor and reverence for us. You will feel that. It is so beautiful to be divinely guided by them. And it starts with the dieta journey. Okay, so let's keep going here. I'm going to save time afterwards for some questions. The second journey that we talked about, remember we talked about, let me just go back here. There are 2 pathways to success, right? For the Goddess Temple Cacao, circle facilitation and business mastery. First one is this embodied cacao facilitator method. Second one is the Cacaopreneur Success Framework. We just talked about the Cacaopreneur Success Framework. Now we're going to talk about this embodied facilitators method. It's a method, a 3-step method that I've understood. This is part of me and my history, how I was brought through this sacred lineage, this beautiful shaman that I have worked with and continue to work with, and another shaman that I've been working with, and also the deep, deep relationship with the spirit who's also guiding me. These beautiful ways of being divinely guided. So what is this? It's an ancient sacred process to deeply connect with the cacao spirit and become initiated by her to facilitate ceremonies. This is why in my training, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, I don't actually certify people to now host cacao ceremonies. What I do is I certify you to now understanding that there is a dieta journey and the relationship with the spirit, and that you now are in relationship with the spirit. How beautiful is that? That is what I understand and what I've experienced as the way to be in full embodiment of these beautiful spirits. And this has been the foundational step all this time with our beloved shamans. So somehow it got almost forgotten, but we're coming back to this. This is why I'm such a beautiful advocate. I'm an advocate of this beautiful message and bringing back, renormalizing the dieta journey for all of us. And so the 3 steps are this. The cacao dieta, we're going to talk about what that is in a minute. The second step is the training, how to become an embodied cacao facilitator, a training. So first step to be embodied is to experience the dieta. So you are now part of the spirit. The spirit and you are one. Very important, this first step. Second step is the facilitator training. So the actual practices, rituals, the steps of the ceremony, how to be in honor of that, and how to also be in relationship with all of that. And step three is ongoing integration. What I have found through my journey is that I do these trainings, I get excited, time passes, the training ends, I forget, I lose my confidence, and I don't do anything. This is why, in a minute, I'm going to share with you how important it is to have this ongoing integration, which is where I continually have you coming in forever and ever to our next training calls with the next group so that you are constantly being upgraded, constantly remembering, constantly meeting new people. We are building an ongoing community. It is not about a beginning and an end to a training. It is about helping and supporting each other ongoing and forever. So first, let's really quickly talk about the cacao dieta, okay? This first step in being an embodied cacao facilitator. So this is an ancient sacred practice for shamans and medicine people. We've talked about that. It's the foundational step. If you wish to share this medicine with anyone, you are first in relationship with the medicine, and you start with the dieta. So this has almost been forgotten today, just because we got busy and so many things. Think about other beautiful modalities and practices. The devotional element of it has almost been forgotten, but we're bringing, thankfully you're here, you're remembering this as well. It's a deep immersion with the cacao spirit. It's a physical and spiritual cleanse because you actually change your food so that you can go through a purification, you change your diet as well. It's an unraveling of your limiting beliefs, helping you to, that this medicine is going to open up your heart, bring to you into your awareness some of these triggers or stories that you have, and with your heart open, very quickly shift you into understanding that that story is no longer necessary. That story wasn't even yours. You picked up that story from somebody else when you were growing up or somewhere, and it's not even yours, and you so simply let it go, and you create a whole new reality for yourself. Because we know that our beliefs are what shape our reality. Anything that's coming out of our eyes, whatever we're projecting and seeing physically in our world is a projection of what's going on inside of us, our beliefs. So changing your beliefs is the first step. And the dieta, the cacao wants to help us to go within and change our beliefs. Why? Because we don't want to be in these beautiful ceremonies and circles, facilitating them and sharing opinions which are really not of the greater good, or opinions that are maybe from a place of victimhood. So it wants to help us, to really support us, to really bring to our awareness what are some of our beliefs, and also to help us get out of the way when we're holding these circles and ceremonies. Invite the spirit to come through us, to literally come through us so we can channel this beautiful spirit and hold space for everyone else to experience her. Provides us with emotional healing and transformation, enhances our intuition, right? Our meditation, our ceremony practices, supports a deeper integration of this plant medicine, and helps us to get into deep connection to our spirit guides. A whole other conversation we can have here, but I truly believe the cacao spirit is almost like a gatekeeper to our other spirit guides. She's here, she opens up our heart. She's like, oh, wait a minute, look at this. There's something to forgive over here. Let me bring in Mary Magdalene, maybe, because Mary Magdalene that's part of one of her beautiful gifts, is supporting people in pure forgiveness. So this is what I have found, is that the cacao, being in such deep reverence with her and relationship with her, she's brought into my awareness all these other spirit guides who I'm now aware specifically why they've all come into my life, because they're all very much reflections of different aspects of us. When we need them, they show up for us, and cacao helps that to do that. The dieta helps us to do that as well. And so let's keep going here. Oh, I have a question for all of you lovelies. Would it be okay if I shared with you my beautiful training program, my embodied cacao facilitator training program, just to see if there's some of you who wish to be guided in a more structured way, in an ongoing way? Would that be okay with all of you? I'm looking at the chat, I don't see anything here, but I'm going to ask your permission. And we're going to go ahead and do that now, which is what makes this training so different. So this is the training. that I have been divinely guided by the spirit of cacao. Since I have been in devotion through this foundational step of the dieta, she has guided me to, over the last few years, to support others in helping them to become circle and ceremony facilitators, ceremonialists, and also including this beloved medicine. And so I call that the embodied cacao facilitator training, which includes the cacao dieta. What makes this so different? I've also had the privilege and honor of studying with a beautiful priestess and with so many, through so much devotion, daily devotion with the cacao, receiving so many messages from her around the connection, for example, of Egypt with Goddess Isis, Mary Magdalene, and the spirit of cacao, this holy trinity. So many things that come through that have helped me to be in relationship with anointing, these sacred anointing rituals, the rose frequency activation, sacred mantra chanting, the elemental altar creation, how to create an altar that is in deep devotion to the elements, to the directions, to all that is in support of us, the greater good. A candlelight invocation. So all of these things are included in this beautiful training. Basically, more of a devotional, pure, delicious devotional training. What else makes this so different is that it's an 8-week initial intensive. So there's 8 weeks initially where we do the dieta and the training so that you're ready, if you may feel confident after 8 weeks to start. And we support you because we do ceremonies together in this journey. And that includes the dieta, the foundational step first. Then you continue to have free access to all the future trainings for the next 12 months. So every few months, I do this training all over again with the new group. You get invited to come back in, listen to the lessons, be part of the interactive trainings, and of course, always be part of our monthly online ceremonies that we co-facilitate together. There's a big focus on business essentials, right? As you saw, big focus on the marketing, the business. How do we actually learn? Because many of us in the spiritual world, we may not be as business focused. Maybe we're more in the space of really opening up to love. Yet that part is just as important, right? As above, so below. The duality of being spiritual and having this holding this beautiful space for others and holding a sacred, successful business where you can be successful. And so another thing that we do is I create an actual landing page for you. It's like a website that I create for you and I publish on my site. So that's wonderful too. You may have your own website, you may not. That's something that gets created for you within the first 8 weeks. A monthly online ceremonies to practice all levels of understanding. You can learn to just facilitate at first. You're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do the ceremonies. I want to host circles first, or you want to actually learn to become a ceremonialist. There's a difference between that. You go through a journey of learning that step. So all levels, doesn't matter where you're at. This is the perfect place to learn how to host and facilitate small little circles and ceremonies, which can create transformation, and then moving into deeper devotional ceremonies. And then monthly office hours. This is where every month I have a time and a place where I open it up. I'm live on Zoom. Anyone, any graduates can come into this, or anyone who's taking the training, and we talk about the marketing. So specifically, you can say, hey, I've just created this, or how do I create this? And we actually create it together on that 1 hour. So whether it's titles for your events, whether it's how do I even create, what offering, how do I know what offering, all of these things ongoing every month, there's that support for you, which is so, so profound and powerful. Now, who is this training for? It could be if you're new, if you're completely new to cacao. It could be for new facilitators. It could be for experienced facilitators. It could be if you're a healer practitioner and want to really hold space for others in a really devoted way. And finally, how can you get started? Really, the first thing is to claim your role, make a decision. This is part of what we do when we are energy and frequency before we are matter, before we are this body. When we make a claim, mountains move. The pieces of the puzzle start to move for us. So it's making a claim and stepping into your purpose, saying, yes, this is for me. And again, this isn't for everybody. But if it is for you, if it's calling in your heart, it's a sacred yes, then the first step is you make the claim. Don't let the head get in the way and start creating all these doubts and this past, oh, I've tried, I've done, all of this stuff shows up. Focus on the heart. And the second step would be to have an interview with me. The reason why we do that is because there's a few reasons. One is there are some contradictions when we take this medicine in this way, a higher dose. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. If you're on any kind of medications, we're also going to talk about why for you and how I can support you, and just understand if now is the right time for you. Um, Step three is you're going to choose your payment plan. So there's a one-time payment you can do, or there's even a 12-month payment plan. So that's anywhere from about, I think it's about 195 US a month, or 255 Canadian a month. So reasonable monthly plans, or you can pay outright and save a little bit. So there's a page I can send to you as well through here. And then finally, you're going to prepare for the dieta. And so that's one thing that we do is prepare for this beautiful dieta. And so I want to just open up. I know there's just a few of you here today, so I want to open up and see if any of you have any questions. And let